March 18th, 2009, a peaceful morning in the city of York, in northern England, something inexplicable happened. Claudia Lawrence, a 35-year-old chef, vanished without a trace. She simply disappeared from her home in broad daylight, and no one has ever been able to figure out what really happened. Where is Claudia Lawrence? What happened on that seemingly ordinary morning? This is a mystery that, to this day, continues to haunt the streets of York and leave everyone searching for answers. Get ready for a story of disappearance, mystery, and secrets that still echo more than a decade later. Claudia Lawrence was a woman known for her radiant smile and extroverted personality. Born and raised in York, in northern England, she won everyone over with her friendliness and culinary talent. At 35, she was a chef at the University of York, where she dedicated herself to creating incredible dishes, earning the respect and admiration of colleagues and students. On the surface, she seemed to have a normal life, without any major dramas or secrets, until the fateful day of March 18th, 2009. That morning, Claudia left her home, as she did every day, to go to work. She left her house on a bike, pedaling to her destination like anyone would. But something was different that morning. She didn't grab her cell phone, something that never happened. And even stranger, she didn't show up at work that day. It was an unusual behavior, and it made friends and family start to worry. The last time Claudia was seen was the night before, March 17th, when she had dinner with friends. They remember an animated conversation and a woman who seemed happy, with no indication that her world was about to collapse. But when the next day came, something was wrong. She didn't go to work, and no one could reach her. The clock ticked, and the hours passed without a word from her, without a sign, until the worry turned into fear. The police were called, and soon Claudia Lawrence's case became one of the most intensely investigated in recent UK history. But what followed was even stranger. Security cameras near Claudia's house captured images of a solitary figure walking near her home, but none of them recorded the moment she was taken. There were no signs of struggle or violence in her residence. Everything was quiet. Nothing made sense. Where was Claudia? As the days passed, the police began to focus on Claudia's social circle. Who were the last people she had contact with? That was when one name began to appear more frequently. William, a friend of Claudia's. He was someone she had been romantically involved with in the past, but their relationship seemed to have ended on a tumultuous note. However, he also didn't have a clear alibi, and his behavior started raising suspicions. But there was one detail that began to make investigators even more perplexed. During the inquiry, it was revealed that Claudia had spoken to several people in the weeks leading up to her disappearance about someone she feared. Who was she referring to? The investigators didn't know, but soon the case would become even more complicated when the police discovered that, days before her disappearance, Claudia had bought a gift for a friend. She seemed to be planning something, but what? But there was one detail that began to make investigators even more perplexed. During the inquiry, it was revealed that Claudia had spoken to several people in the weeks leading up to her disappearance about someone she feared. Who was she referring to? The investigators didn't know. But soon the case would become even more complicated when the police discovered that, days before her disappearance, Claudia had bought a gift for a friend. She seemed to be planning something. But what? In 2013, more than 4 years after Claudia's disappearance, a new detail emerged. A man who would become one of the main suspects was identified. He had obsessive behavior, something that unsettled both the investigators and Claudia's family. However, the evidence against him was scarce, and he was never formally charged. He always denied involvement, but the police couldn't figure out if he was telling the truth or just hiding behind a manipulative silence. Today, more than a decade has passed since Claudia Lawrence's disappearance, and the case remains unresolved. The family, devastated, has never given up on seeking answers. But what really happened to Claudia? Where is she? Was she kidnapped? Did she run away? Or did something darker happen that morning? The years have passed, but the questions haven't ceased. The disappearance of Claudia Lawrence is a never-ending mystery. In a story full of twists and turns, suspicions and clues that lead nowhere, the case has become one of the UK's greatest enigmas. What happened to Claudia on that fateful morning? Is there someone who knows more than they have revealed? The case remains open, waiting for a truth that has yet to come to light. And perhaps, just perhaps, the answer is closer than we think.